We are continuing UFC Vegas 19 co-main event time. Yana Kunitskaya taking on Ketlen Vieira. Vieira has won 5 of her 6 UFC fights, coming off of 1 win, lost before that. And Yana has gone 3 out of 4 since losing to Cyborg in the title shot. Former Invicta champion at bantamweight. 8th largest control time pressure among active UFC fighters at 54%, 54% striking accuracy. UFC average is 42%. It's interesting. She is probably the biggest underdog on this card against Ketlen Vieira. Vieira. This is fun, man. Co-main event. After this, it's Derek Lewis taking on Curtis Blaydes. Will Blaydes be able to take Lewis down? Will Lewis be able to get back up? It's the toughest guy that Blaydes has ever tried to keep on the ground. Can Lewis land one of those killer shots? I think Ngannou might be the only other person that's knocked out Curtis Blaydes. Done it twice now in the UFC. Here comes number 6, Ketlen Vieira. You can see why she's a -4 something favorite. That sounds steep. Is it 4 something? Let this look real quick because I'm professional. If you're just joining us, this is me stupidly putting these all into separate individual fight lives. But what's happening here on this ESPN card play-by-play is me just trying to, for the first time, do play-by-plays so that I can train to try and do a pay-per-view so that I can do pay-per-view play-by-plays for people who don't want to spend the money on a pay-per-view but still want to know what's going on. I want to be able to try and give them like a radio-esque where you can visualize what's going on without watching it play-by-play of these fights. So this is me just getting my feet wet in that. Yeah, this fight. Yeah, no, I was way off. It's Blaydes that's -400. We had Vieira get closer now. Vieira is the -285 favorite over the +225 Yana Kunitskaya. Yeah. I mean, it's closer than I thought. If you're looking at betting on Blaydes versus Lewis, right now, -400 for Blaydes, and Derek Lewis is +300 outright. If you're looking at the under-overs, over 1.5 rounds, it's -210, under +170. Under over 2 rounds is +120 for over. Yeah, I might do that. I might even do that. We got number 6 versus number 7 at women's bantamweight right now, though. Just looking at this. The one that I was looking at, if you're looking at just total value, Derek Lewis by knockout is +350. But, I mean, if we're all being honest, we're looking at Blaydes. They got Blaydes by knockout at -3 or -135. Decision +350. I think they're thinking if Blaydes is still in this fight after the 3rd round, we're going into the championship rounds 4 and 5, that Lewis will just not have enough to survive 4 and 5 with Curtis Blaydes. And we know that Curtis can go all 25 controlling somebody, but that was a striker. Which so is Lewis, but Lewis has got better ability to get up than I would say Volkov does. But let's focus on this co-main event. Ketlen Vieira getting ready to try and work her way up towards a title shot at women's bantamweight, trying to chase down Amanda Nunes, who was defending at 259 against Megan Anderson. Megan Anderson. Here we go, round 1. Jason Herzog is in there. They touch gloves. Here we go. Vieira immediately tries to throw a couple. They all are blocked. Left hook lands for Vieira. She goes for the takedown. Yana pulls her up. Stops that takedown. Yana's throwing some knees to the body. Vieira pushing Yana up against the fence. Good head position, but Yana keeps throwing those knees. Vieira still controlling Yana against the fence. Kunitskaya trying to find a way off this fence right now. Whizzer for Yana. 50-50. Still Vieira. Vieira's trying to flip her, and Vieira gets her down. Just kind of dragged her down against the fence. And Vieira steps over both legs of Yana. Yana gets one leg out, pushes her. She's trying to get to her feet, but Vieira's just sticking to her like glue. One leg up. Yana's all the way up. 354. Vieira has her against the cage still. 50-50 on the underhooks. 346. Vieira still trying to find a way to get Yana back down, but Yana's staying up. Yana is even trying to spin and get Vieira's back against the cage. Yana keeps throwing small knees to the body. Adding up. Yana throwing some left hooks in the clinch. Yana has Vieira's back up against the cage. Yana Kunitskaya landing some knees to the thighs. Pressing. Kunitskaya pressing Vieira against the fence. Landing knees. A couple short shots. A couple short left hands. Kunitskaya in control right now. Vieira tries to throw some shots back with the right hand. Another knee to the body for Kunitskaya. Vieira trying to trip. Goes for a double leg and gets it. Vieira takes down Kunitskaya. Vieira steps into half guard. Kunitskaya pulls the leg out and she had full guard for about half a second. Vieira steps back over into half guard. Half guard for Vieira. 2:36 remaining in this first round. Yana's trying to throw some shots, most of them hitting the back of the head. Still half guard for Vieira. And Yana tries to turn to her right and gives her back, kind of her side. Yana's on her side and Vieira's and back into half guard for Vieira. Good hip escape there for Kunitskaya, but she's still flat on her back, trying to throw shots to the ear of Ketlen Vieira. Vieira tried to pass into full mount. Yana said no way. Yana turns to her side, and it's a full mount for Vieira. Vieira throwing shots. And Kunitskaya regains half guard, but she's in trouble. Vieira tried to lock up that arm for a second, thought better of it. Kunitskaya defends well. Still half guard for Vieira. Just flat on her back, shoulder of Vieira is pressing against Kunitskaya's chin. Still half guard. Kind of a stalemate in this position. Kunitskaya just throwing these little right hands around the ear of Vieira. Vieira's trying to get back into full mount. Yana keeps half guard. Vieira's still in half guard, and Yana's still throwing little shots. Vieira's got to work here, and she's trying really hard to pass. But Kunitskaya doing very well to keep in half guard. 44 remains in this first round. Largely all Vieira, but at least a lot of offense from the bottom from Kunitskaya. Still half guard. Wrist control, and she's throwing shots, just throwing shots around the ear, like just around. A couple of elbows from Vieira from the top. Oh, and an elbow from the bottom for Kunitskaya. 20 seconds remaining in the first round. The number 6th ranked Vieira is on top of the number 7th ranked Kunitskaya. 8 seconds remain. And that is where they will end this first round. First round, you got to think for sure. Awesome to see offense off the back from Kunitskaya, but nothing real damaging and just dominant control from Vieira on the ground. Kunitskaya had Vieira up against the fence for a little while, but in the end, it was Vieira controlling on the ground. Nobody's watching this one. That's upsetting. I mean, I get it. We had some great fights tonight, though. We had all but 3 fights be finishes, some incredible performances, wild knockouts. There was a incredible 1-minute fight between Landwehr and Julian Erosa, and Erosa got hurt. Erosa was hurt and wobbled, and Landwehr was trying to finish it, and then Erosa just started throwing shots and backed up Landwehr, and then Erosa jumped with a flying knee, put Landwehr away. That was wild. Herzog, center of the octagon. Get that door closed. All right, here we go. Touch of gloves, second round. Here we go. Leg kick right away from Kunitskaya. A flurry from Vieira. Nothing lands. Ooh, straight right lands for Vieira. And they clinch up. That clinch was engaged by Kunitskaya. Now they're both trying to chip each other to the ground. Kunitskaya presses Vieira up against the fence, slapping each other. A lot of knees to the body from Kunitskaya. Those are adding up. Kunitskaya still pressing Vieira against the fence. Couple slaps to the face from Vieira. Vieira tries to trip her down. Kind of pulled guard there, and now Kunitskaya is in the full guard, now rubber guard of Ketlen Vieira. Back to full guard. Kunitskaya landing some shots to the body. She's in the dominant position right now, but Vieira is very dangerous. Vieira back to rubber guard, loses it again. Trying to push Kunitskaya's head down, try and set up some kind of submission, maybe wrap up that arm. Some kind of omoplata. But Kunitskaya is doing well to just stack and stay. Regains just full mount, and Yana's starting to throw down some shots. Vieira trying to spin into an armbar attempt, and Yana backs out of it, makes sure she's fine, back into full guard. And Vieira tried for a triangle choke. She doesn't get it, but she almost got out from underneath Kunitskaya there, but Kunitskaya regains full guard. They're still doing UFC Unfiltered with the great Jim Norton and Matt Serra. I should get back to that. It's a good podcast. And Vieira tries to set up another triangle, maybe armbar here. She's got her legs wrapped up around Kunitskaya's head. Could try and transition this into a triangle choke, but Yana wisely shrugs her shoulder through and back into full guard. The full guard of Vieira. So with 233, very different round here with Kunitskaya dominating. Positionally, and Kunitskaya is throwing a lot of short little shots that are adding up, so she's doing plenty to win this round. And Vieira is flat on her back, starting to get frustrated. Tries to throw the legs up again. Kunitskaya stacks her. Postures up. But Kunitskaya can't do too much because she's got to be very careful of those submission attempts by Vieira. Vieira tries to attack a knee bar here, spins all the way around. But the knee she's trying to attack, Kunitskaya is sitting right on top of it. Oh, now she might have it. Vieira has a knee bar attempt on Kunitskaya and won't get it, but she'll use it to get back to her feet. Now it's Vieira pressing Kunitskaya against the fence. Kunitskaya reverses, and now it's Kunitskaya pushing Vieira against the fence and throwing those patented knees to the body and to the thigh. Kunitskaya controlling, minute 19. Oh, and a wizard trip takedown for Ketlen Vieira. They're still locked up in that whizzer. And Kunitskaya is now taking the back of Vieira, but Vieira stands back up to her feet. Kunitskaya against the back, throwing some knees to the upper legs of Vieira. 56 seconds remain. This round's all Kunitskaya. Oh, and Vieira tried to attack an arm. Goes to the ground. Kunitskaya ends up on top. Kunitskaya all the way over into side control. Vieira rolls to her all fours. Oh, a big knee to the body by Kunitskaya. And another one. Vieira's just holding on now. 28 seconds. Kunitskaya surprising a lot of people here tonight with her ability to grapple competitively here. Big, huge elbows over and over to the body of Vieira. Kunitskaya is looking amazing here. Big knees. Oh, a head kick as Vieira stood up. 3 seconds remain. A leg kick to end the round for Kunitskaya. She tried a spinning back kick a little after the bell, and it's partially land for Kunitskaya. So I think it's a round apiece. But when it's a round apiece, whoever wins the second round has probably got the momentum. So this could be a huge upset for Yana Kunitskaya over Ketlen Vieira. But still 5 minutes to decide this one. It's a lot of fun. Sure, DraftKings and side parlays and a lot of bets are on this fight. So is Ketlen Vieira going to find a way back to look like she did in the first round in control, or is Kunitskaya going to continue the momentum and control like she did in round 2? Wonder what the live betting odds are on this. They usually show them in the beginning of the third round, so let's see. We're back. Jason Herzog getting ready to tell them to fight. And here we go. Touch of gloves, round 3. Ketlen Vieira. Yana Kunitskaya. Toe-to-toe in the center, leg kick for Kunitskaya. They're kind of just looking at each other. Kick to the body for Kunitskaya. Another leg kick for Kunitskaya. Vieira might be trying to just time the perfect takedown. She goes for it, and she gets it. Vieira gets the takedown. Vieira on top. It's the last thing that Kunitskaya needed. And a half guard control for Vieira with 4:20 remaining. Vieira's going to just try and keep Kunitskaya on her back, keep her here, and win this fight. But 4 minutes is a long way to go. Vieira tries to step into full mount, but Yana keeps her in half. They're by that corner with all of the blood from that fight that Chris Taioni should not have let go as long as it did between Sergey Spivak and Verderin, the first fight. Still half guard for Vieira. She's landing a few body and head strikes. Nothing real damaging, just trying to absolutely control here. Tries to step over. But Yana's defending well, keeping her right leg, tying up the right leg of Vieira so she can't get to full mount. They're up against the fence in the corner, though, here. I think Vieira might be trying to squeeze up head and arm choke. It's just, she's just 3 minutes left. Vieira is just really trying to hold her down, and that's a full mount here for Vieira. Kunitskaya starting to scramble, trying to get out of this now. Full mount for Vieira. 250 remains. Couple of big hooks from the bottom by Kunitskaya. And Vieira's just eating them to keep the position. Kunitskaya tries to roll to her side. Ketlen has a head and arm choke. Head and arm choke for Vieira, but the fence might be in her way. She might not be able to squeeze enough. and she just regains full mount. Gives up on that. Didn't want to give up that position. Smart move by Vieira. 2:24 remaining. Yana tries to spin out of this, and she does regain half guard for a second, but it looks like good floating by Vieira will keep her. Nope. Yana got the half guard. And right back to full mount. They're kind of 50-50 there. Oh, and Vieira spins to her back. She has her back. One hook in, two hooks in. 2 minutes remain, trying to find the choke. It's going to be hard, though, because Ketlen's back is against the fence. So even if she did find her way under the chin, she'd have to try and twist away from the fence to finish that choke. And Yana's just trying to do what she can to get out of this without making any mistakes. 135 remains. Kunitskaya got one hook out of there, but Ketlen still has her back. Yana trying to spin, and Ketlen says no, gets another hook in. Kunitskaya on top of Vieira, but Vieira has her back. The classic jiu-jitsu battle here. Hand fighting. Yana's throwing those shots past her own face to hit. I just actually hit my headphones. But Vieira controlling. 55 seconds remain. Yana so close and had such a good second round. And she's landing big shots, really, doing this thing. But I don't think it's going to be enough with all of this dominant control by Vieira. But who knows? We've seen a lot of strange things. Vieira's trying to get under the chin. Now that they're both on their, now that Vieira's flat on her back, she could finish this from this position if she got under the chin of Kunitskaya. But with 25 seconds remaining, Yana's just doing too good at hand fighting. And Yana spins correctly into the full guard of Vieira, and Yana's just trying to rain down shots. 12 seconds remain. Yana's trying to make a statement to end this round and try and win this fight. Big elbows, huge elbows by Kunitskaya. Kunitskaya making a statement to end this fight. Vieira is bloodied up from those elbows, and that is the end of round 3. Wow. Oh, Vieira is a bloody mess, all within the last 15 seconds from the hell elbows of Kunitskaya. Man, was that enough? Was that actually enough with all that damage right at the end of the round? There's a chance. There's a serious chance. If I had to guess, wow, I really, really don't know. I think we're going to see a split decision here. I'm going to say 2 judges give it to Vieira and 1 to Kunitskaya, but I'm honestly not sure. That was a really hard one to call. The first 2 rounds, very easy to call. Round 1 for Vieira, round 2 for Kunitskaya. But round 3 was all Vieira until it wasn't. And then she was absolutely battered in the last 15 seconds. That's a really hard case because control is one thing and doing damage is another. And if you got 4 minutes and 45 seconds of control versus a reversal and absolute elbow damage event to end the last 15 seconds for Kunitskaya, it might actually be enough to sway some people. So, were the elbows and all that damage at the end of the round enough to steal this fight for the huge underdog Yana Kunitskaya? Or will Ketlen squeak out of this one bloody but victorious? Let us see. Looking at these elbows. Oh man. 2. Oh, just cut her up. 3, 4. Oh man, that was one of the quickest bleeding opened up cuts. Wow, I look terrifying like this. Man, that's going to be interesting. Here we go. Wow, she did it. The elbows were enough. Unanimous 29-28 for Yana Kunitskaya. The huge underdog found a way after being dominated in that third round to turn it around with the elbows. That was crazy. How much fun was that? A lot of people, Vieira was their lock. But Yana is just, she's got that Thiago Santos never give up. Wow, incredible. That was a hell of a fight. You know, it might have been boring for a lot of people with all the grappling and just kind of control time, but when you see somebody get controlled for 95% of a round and then find a way to twist, reverse, and just throw elbows, bloody someone up that much, and 15-second performance in the third round was enough to give Yana Kunitskaya the win. That was incredible. She was number 7 coming in. She just beat number 6. That's 2 wins in a row for Yana. Who knows what's next for her at bantamweight, man? That was a real show of will by Yana Kunitskaya. So huge congratulations to her. I'm gonna cut this. We're gonna get ready for the main event on a new video. Thank you so much, everybody who watches, and it's main event time.